Welcome to Tamer Bowling Video Ball Reviews. Hey Tamer Bowling fans, we are now on Patreon. For exclusive content, please join us at patreon.com/tamerbowling. Today we are testing the new Ebonite Matrix Solid. We're testing on a 40-foot medium house shot and 47-foot PBA Scorpion pattern. First impressions, the Matrix Solid is colorful, strong, but still punchy. For value, we gave the Matrix Solid a B+. It's a mid-priced ball with strong overall motion. Combine what it can do with the cost and you get good bang for the buck. Overall, we gave the Matrix Solid B+ on house and B+ on sport. The first few balls pretty quickly set the expectation for what this ball is about. I opened the box, I saw those bright colors. I'm not a fan of these color schemes generally speaking, but this one didn't bother me going down the lane. It actually was designed in a way, drilled in a way that I can see the roll nicely. Anyway, it's a dull cover out of the box and we know the core. With the aggressive cover, it wants to start up, but wasn't too hard to get it down lane for me. The core has a medium RG, so the core wants to get down lane, but it has a tumble and then strong move at the back. The core has an interesting transition. The shape tends to have a nice balanced transition, but the added flip block in the shape of the core makes it more aggressive at the back end. I didn't have too much trouble getting this ball down lane, as I said, and it's partly due to the fact that the reliable back end move gave me confidence that it was going to come back. Therefore, I didn't have to try to push it or get in and hit it to make it come back. I had a chance to compare it to the Ebonite Gamebreaker 3, and the GB3 has that buttery smooth roll with great rounded boomy continuation that it's always been known for. It's a bit longer than the Matrix Solid, but the core looks very smooth and rolly, but still strong overall movement. Even though on the house shot they cover similar boards, they are very different in the way they do it. Sean was next, and he saw a lot of movement from the Matrix Solid. This is where having a mildly asymmetric core and a strong cover makes the ball quite continuous rather than that snow tire hook set look of super strong asyms. He also compared it to the Gamebreaker 3, and in his case, the rounded continuous shape of the GB3 made it almost an arrow more ball. It stores a bit more energy and just keeps coming back. He fell in love with the GB3 at first sight, but that's for another video. Bryan was next with the Matrix Solid, and he had a pretty good look. He got the benefit of a strong mid-laney reaction that drove nicely through the pins. It kind of had that aggressive big piece look. By contrast to Sean, he was not able to get lots of bounce off the dry. The ball did seem to lose some energy for him, and it just ran out of steam if he got out too far to the friction. Compared to the Gamebreaker 3, again, he saw that rounded, boomy move, and you could get deeper with it with really good drive through the pin. So again, a different shape. Then finally Dave, he's a stroker but with less axis tilt than Bryan. Does it make a difference? Yes and no. Basically he sees more defined and aggressive transition visually, whereas Bryan gets a deceptively smoother transition. However, they were in the same zone more or less with this ball. Not hugely different when it comes to the way the ball reacted off the dry. To the outside dry, the ball loses some energy, but Dave got a touch stronger reaction back, so leaves a 2-pin instead of a bucket. All in all, pretty similar. Comparing to the Gamebreaker 3, the two balls weren't hugely different for Dave. Similar board coverage, but again, a slightly different shape. We tested on the 47-foot PBA Scorpion pattern for the sport shot. It's a pretty long pattern, plays long. The Ebonite Matrix Solid shapes up really nicely for me. Whereas some big pieces can have a bit of a hook set motion, or big symmetrics have some over-under with continuation, the Matrix Solid matched up really nicely for me. I typically do like to use big asyms with lots of surface, to control the pattern, but this ball just looked fantastic out of the box. You just look at the way the ball comes off the spot through the pins. Sean tested after about 6 games worth of traffic, and he just doesn't need this much ball at this stage. This is just after a good shim has been created. He can get there, but is happier with a medium, semi-shiny symmetric at this point. But when he gets this ball to the right spot, it sets just right to go through the pins nicely. Bryan tested with the same amount of play as Sean, and you can see he still needs something a bit stronger to get a consistent look. Really, he's looking for an asim with even more surface, and that's still called for. Final thoughts. Interestingly, the Matrix Solid reminds me a lot of the Rotogrip Show-Off. It's almost the same color scheme. It's just about as strong. It's got that flip down lane. Core numbers are really close. I don't know if this was intentional, but Ebonite would be in their right mind to go after a winning formula. And the Ebonite Matrix Solid doesn't disappoint.
I need to tell you what Tamer Elbaga reviews.